What's going on, Beamer fans? Welcome back to BeamerView. For today's video, we're going to be going over everything there is to know about a BMW heads-up display. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, BeamerView, what we do here is teach you everything there is to know about BMWs in terms of tips, tricks, features, and secrets. So if you want to learn everything there is to know about your BMW, do yourself a favor, subscribe to the channel because we put out content every single week. Before we get started, we do have key fob covers, so do yourself a favor if you want to protect your key fob. The links for those are going to be right down below inside the merch shelf. We are doing shipping all across the United States. Let's get started. For today's video, we're going to be going over the heads-up display and all the different things it can do, everything you need to know about it. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, today we're in a BMW X3, but this should work for any other BMW that has a heads-up display. If you are expecting to get a BMW that has this really cool feature, be sure to pay attention to the whole thing because you'll learn some things that could just speed up your whole learning process. In every BMW, there is a way to adjust the heads-up display in all these different ways. Let's go ahead and do that. First off, we want to go into settings. If we go into settings right over here, we're going to see this icon right here called displays. You would just go into settings, general settings, and then you're going to see displays located just like this. And then that is what you want to click on. Inside here, we have tons of different options. The one that we're going to be focusing on today is just going to be the heads-up display that you see right here. Now, I'll go over some of the things that the heads-up display can do, but first off and foremost, let's go ahead and set this up properly. When you get a brand new BMW, this is going to be probably the first thing you need to do whenever you're trying to make adjustments to your heads-up display. Depending on how you're sitting in your chair, first off and foremost, you want to make sure your profile or ID is set up before you make adjustments to your chair. Once you have your positioning in terms of your chair and then your comfort and even your steering wheel, your next thing you need to do is adjust your heads-up display height. You can see right here that mine is already set up, but it does seem a little bit low. So I do need to raise that up just a little bit. So the way that I'm going to do that is obviously, again, I went into heads-up display, and then all I'm going to do is just slide my finger to adjust the height. You can see right up here that the heads-up display is going to be going up and down. Again, the best rule of thumb for this guy is whenever you start adjusting it, you're going to see that the heads-up display is going to show a box-like feature letting you know that these are going to be the corners of the heads-up display. You can see on the bottom corners of the heads-up display that there are a couple lines. What I want to do is be able to see those lines and keep the heads-up display as low as possible. Once I go down, you're going to see that the lines start to disappear. That is a little bit too low, so I want to go back up just a little bit. Right about there. And then to me, that is a good height for my heads-up display. You don't want to be someone that has a heads-up display way up here, because then all that it is going to do is distract you quite a bit. So definitely don't put your heads-up display way up here. You want to keep it as low as possible in order for the corners of the square to still see on the bottom there. So do that first. Next up, you're going to see some other options here. One is called rotation. I'm not exactly sure why BMW has this, but all that this will do is just move your heads-up display or just begin to tilt it. Next up is going to be our brightness. So brightness, I do have it cranked up all the way. Now, if you're driving at nighttime with the heads-up display, it could get really distracting, so just watch out for that. What I'll typically do is just use the heads-up display during the daytime, so that's why for me, I do keep my brightness all the way up. For some BMWs, if you drag this down, you're going to see an option right up here where you can just quickly turn off the heads-up display. You're going to see it located here. All you would have to do is click on it, and then your heads-up display will turn off. The other way you could do it is simply by voice command. So by voice command, if I were to just click it one time, all that I could just tell the car is to just turn off the heads-up display, and then the heads-up display will turn off. So at nighttime, I personally do not use the heads-up display because it does get really distracting. So I do tend to keep that off. Just at the night. Here's another adjustment that I will do. Whenever you're playing around with this menu button here, you can see that whenever I play around with it, that it's going to show some stuff on our HUD right up there. Now, I personally am not a fan of that menu showing up on my heads-up display. What I want to do is just tweak it so that the same menu that was showing on the HUD is going to show right over here. So now whenever I want to cycle through stations, I'll just play around with this guy, and then I'm going to see the menu pop up here, which makes it a bit more easier to see for me. So that is what this menu item does. Lastly, if you are someone who absolutely does not like the heads-up display, you could also, again, just tell voice command to deactivate it, or you can go here and just push on this little green guy here, and then it will just completely deactivate the whole thing, and then you won't be distracted by it. Another thing to watch out for, this is going to be really, really important to note. If you have polarized sunglasses, I personally do. If you have polarized sunglasses, you're not going to see the heads-up display at all. It's going to look very, very dim. You're going to wonder why your car is not showing the heads-up display, and that is not the car's fault. That's you wearing your polarized sunglasses. I personally have made this mistake as well. Don't blame the car. It's just the fact that you have polarized sunglasses that is causing that. So you can't wear polarized sunglasses. You can still see just a little bit of it if you wanted to, but for the most part, it's just going to cancel out. Now, the things that we're going to be seeing on our HUD is going to be very, very basic depending on how you're using it. If I were to just go ahead and start driving, obviously that 0 mile per hour is going to start to project my speed that I'm going. What's really handy is that you can also see our speed limit located right over here too. So it shows your speed limit, really, really handy. The big one that many people ask about is maps. They start to wonder why I can't see my map up there. The reason being is because you have to use your BMW map. So let's just say, for example, I wanted to go to Starbucks. I'm just going to quickly punch that in. Again, I could use my voice to do it, but I'm just doing things the hard way here. If I punch in Starbucks, it's going to load Starbucks. I'm going to click on it. Now I'm just going to give this a push, and then you're going to see that the navigation has already begun. Now watch this. Because I started that, you're going to see the same map pop up here on our HUD as well. You can see it right over there. And then as you're driving, once you get pretty close to a turn, that is when you're going to be seeing the HUD, and then you'll also see the arrow move around. What's really handy is right up here, you're going to see where it says the arrow and then 40 feet. That lets you know how close you are whenever you're about to take the next turn. That is super, super handy because I've always have a hard time trying to figure out when exactly that turn is going to be. So that 40 feet marker is really, really, really handy. The other things you're going to be seeing on your HUD are going to be phone calls. If you're getting a phone call, you could also potentially have it show right up there. Next up, we're going to check out some ways how we can change the layout of our HUD. If you have a brand new BMW, you're going to have the ability to change the layout of your heads-up display, which is really cool. So the way you would do that is click on this gear icon. You want to go into the mode where you can see these 3 different boxes, and then use this guy right here to head up. Once you have this highlighted, just go up or down, and then you can go through the different types of layouts or modes that the heads-up display can be in. So I'm just going to quickly cycle through these. Our standard view is going to be this first one here. If I go down one, this one is going to be our directional view. And then if I go down another one, this one is going to be our assisted view. And then if I go down more, this one's a sport view. You guys do got to try this one out. It does move along with the steering wheel. And then you're going to see the little wings there fill up depending on how fast you're going. Curve ahead view, which is really cool because it lets me know whenever the next curve or turn is about to approach. And then the last one is going to be my favorite one, and that one is going to be reduced view. Reduced view is really handy because it does keep things way out the way, show things in the least amount of distraction, which is really handy. I personally keep my car in reduced view to make my life a lot more easy. So for this video topic, feel free to ask away questions about BMW's HUD. A lot of times whenever people are seeing it for the first time, they are completely shocked by how cool it looks. It literally makes it feel like you're flying a fighter jet, so to speak. But it is something that is really intuitive and can help you along the way. It keeps you away from speeding tickets because now you can constantly see your speed, and now you have no excuse for speeding. And it just helps with the overall experience of the entire vehicle. So yes, everyone, if you all had any questions, feel free to write them down below. Again, check out the key fob covers located right down below as well. Plenty more videos coming up. I am going to be stepping up the speed of posting a whole lot more because summer is in session and the weather is nice. And we are getting a lot more sunlight to do these really cool films inside these amazing vehicles. Thank you all for watching. Take care. Have a great day. And I will see you all for the next one.